What it do, my free game people? Um, Today I'm looking rough, man. Don't mind me. I had a retwist in like 6 months, so don't mind my shit looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is that? Don't mind my shit looking crazy, but I'm here to talk to y'all about something that is very effective in today's world, especially in the world of the youth and people my age and what have it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm here to talk to y'all about social media. Now I didn't talk about social media so many times that it's like it's almost tiring. But this is just something that I was thinking of. And you know, when I be just thinking of shit, walking around my crib thinking and shit like that, I like to get on here and talk with y'all, especially if it's something that like it's something that's big and it's just something that's just on my mind and it just feel almost like a revelation in a way. You know what I'm saying? So when I had those moments, I like to just get on here and talk with the free game people. But also go subscribe to the free game F&B channel, which is the group channel. You know what I'm saying? Get with that. Get with it. You know what I'm saying? Get with us. You know what I'm saying? We got some real good group content on there where you can see all the things you may need and more. But with the social media thing, so the conversation that I was kind of having with myself was the difference between the social media reality and what reality really is, and how each one affects each other, or really how each one affects each other, and what it was doing, and what I was starting to notice is that how much social media is really starting to penetrate into what true reality is. It's starting to have bigger effects on what real reality is in your everyday world. And I was kind of sitting here talking with myself, and I was kind of thinking like, I was thinking to myself like, the mindsets that's kind of been promoted through social media, and one of the things that was big with that I was saying was like, let's say I've never been on social media, and I never ever set up here, and I never been on Facebook, Instagram, none of those things, TikTok, whatever the case, whatever your choice of social media may be. Let's say I never been on those things. What will my thoughts be like? Because when I analyze my thoughts and I analyze the way that I think about things, I look back and I'll be like, damn, maybe this got a big effect. Maybe social media has affected these thoughts. Now, luckily, I'm very self-aware of how I think. People who not very self-aware of the way that they think, that can really cause problems, because everybody knows that your thoughts become your reality because they influence your actions. So one of the things that I was thinking was like that whoever is controlling the social media, whatever controls that social media, is almost in a way controlling the reality nowadays, especially of the young people, because they're promoting things that's to people's minds. So since they promoting those things to people's mind, they starting to believe them. So when they start to believe them, they start to act off of those beliefs, which then makes the things that they didn't see on social media true, which kind of reinforce the thought of this is what the world is. For example, let's say on social media, all I see is women ain't this, they gonna cheat on me, they not gonna love me right, they gonna do this, all they want is money. So with that thought always consistently, persistently being in my head all day, I'm gonna then eventually act off of that thought. Like, okay, I know all she want from me is money, and she gonna cheat on me, so now I gotta mistreat her, right? So then once you do that, and you think like that, so then now it reinforces to said woman that this is all that people think you do, or whatever the case, and it kind of just reinforces that into your life. It creates the cycle in a sense, because on one end, men hearing that women ain't this and women ain't that, and then on the other end, women hearing the same thing through social media. So it reinforced these ideas, when all in all, if you really just didn't be on social media, most people really do want a faithful relationship. Most people really do want to be, this type of person, or want to have this type of love. But it's like social media has promoted this type of thing. So it's social media has promoted on both sides the same thing, but just in a woman's standpoint or in a man's standpoint, but it's all the same thing. And what it's done is it's created headbutts, because that's what the point of it is to do, to promote us to dislike each other, to not come together. You see what I'm saying? So with that, I started to think like this is the social media reality is really affecting the world we live in today, and this is why it's so important to get to talk with people, or to talk with people that, you know, understand themselves and understand their thoughts, you know, understanding where their thoughts are coming from. You feel me? Because with me, if I sit up, I won't sit up here and say that that social media hasn't affected me, or that I've never been on social media. But one thing I will say is that luckily I'm aware enough to sit up here and be like, nah, that ain't right. Nah, that ain't how I think. That's not how I truly feel is the truth. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people out here, it's some people out here who's never been hurt or never has felt any of the things, but because of the fact that social media say that this is what's gonna happen, they act as they have. There's people who's never been hurt who act like they've been hurt. People who've never been cheated on who acts like they've been cheated on. See what I'm saying? Through social media, that's what promoted their mind to believe that that's the truth. So it has a lot of people, it's promoting a lot of negative mindsets. Now, don't get me wrong, some of these things can still happen without social media because they are realities of the world, nevertheless. But understanding that that's a reality of the world, and is still understanding that that's a reality of the world and not just the way the world is, will help you make good choices. Because think about it like this. I understand that the reality of the world is people can get shot and killed, or people can die, or people can get hit by a car. But that don't mean that happens to everybody all the time. See what I'm saying? Just the same as with cheating. I understand cheating is a very real thing, but it doesn't happen to everybody and not all the time. And with you understanding that reality, it helps you, you know, navigate. Now, another thing that social media really does is it really brainwashes a lot of people, you know, because I was talking with somebody, and it's gonna kind of all come back in, but I was talking with somebody, and we was talking about this concept of the primal consciousness, and basically how I understood and how I interpreted that conversation was the fact that the primal consciousness is basically how people are in their natural state without any outside influence. If everything was just how they just grew up, no outside influence, how would they be mentally and how would they act? And it made me think about all the outside influences that can take you away from that said primal consciousness. So in a sense, social media is it's its own reality in itself. It's like, even when you're on social media, you feel like once you've been on social media for a while and you finally get off, it almost feel like you just was somewhere else. So it's like a whole different reality in the way you live in. It's a whole different it's completely just, it's just different. So that outside force of consciousness and that outside force of reality, so many people live on that force of reality, which is the social media, that it takes them from what the primal / original consciousness in reality really is, to understand what the world is. So people act off of this, which is the social media consciousness in the social media reality, right? Because this is what's promoted in this. And a lot of the social media reality is all just ego-driven thoughts being promoted. That's all it is. That's why a lot of people do. That's why a lot of people get bad things that happen to them, because a lot of social media just promotes ego-driven thoughts, you know, on both sides. And that's why people be thinking like, oh, this is true and this feels right to me, because of the fact that everybody has an ego. But people's egos are so big because they sit on social media and they allow social media in that reality to promote their ego-driven thoughts instead of what true reality is, which true reality has nuance to it, and it has all different types of sections to it, and it takes a lot more complex thinking to really understand reality. But social media is not hard to understand because everybody has an ego. Everybody has these mostly the same thoughts, really, when it comes to ego-driven thoughts, because they all just like what's the word I want to use? Just self-sustaining thoughts in a way, you know, just not thinking about nobody but yourself. And what social media does is it's created this box of thinking to where everybody now thinks the same. Everybody now thinks that this is what it is and this is how it is. So that's why it's so hard now to not have some of the things that's happening to everybody else happen to you, because of the fact you don't understand that you are living in this reality. This is your reality right here. If you sit on the internet all day and all you do is be on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all that, this is your reality. And now that so many people is living in this said reality, it's now affecting this reality, which is the real world, which is what happening. And if you pay attention, what's the real world like, and the experiences that people can have if they just not on. So now that so many people have been on this, and the majority of my generation, especially in the younger, is in this reality, is causing so much effects and things to happen into the true reality. And that's why it's becoming more important to not be on social media, because when the more you on it, the more you're gonna be tricked into thinking that this is the way that you're supposed to live, and then it's gonna lead into affecting this. Now, people who only live in this right here, don't get me wrong, you will be disconnected in a sense. But to me, I'm starting to understand that that's not even a bad thing anymore. You know, like people used to, when I tell people like I don't like being on social media, or social media is just a bad thing and I don't think it's something I want to really invest in for real anymore, people will tell me like, but you're not gonna be connected, you're not gonna know what's going on. But it's like now it's to the point to where I kind of don't need to know. If it's not affecting my main life, my main reality, is no point for me to know. And people be like, you know, what if this happened? What if like, I can sit on social media right now and find out that 6 buildings in Ukraine just blew up. And now I feel sad. Now I feel down. Now I feel just not as good as I could feel, right? But it's not really truly affecting my reality. But the way that it did affect my reality is by affecting my emotions. When none of the buildings that I was in blew up, and if it was some buildings that I was in that blew up, then so be it. It's nothing that I can do to stop that, whether I knew it or not. See what I'm saying? Like it's taking away a lot of people's presence. Social media, that social media reality is taking people from the present moment, and the present moment. When you in the present moment, that's what's connecting you to said primal consciousness. Because now I'm sitting here and I'm experiencing it in a very now moment, and I'm just experiencing. I'm just letting it come to me as it comes. You know, I'm not allowing outside thoughts to influence. You know what I'm saying? I'm also not allowing outside thoughts to influence, you know, the things that I do. You know. So that's some of the bigger things. And this is one, I think, one of the biggest. My fault, my nose a little fucked up. Y'all didn't see me rub my nose about 1,000 times. It's a little dust flying around in this bitch. I gotta blow my nose. But besides the point, another thing that I really truly feel that social media does is it kills creativity. Everybody is doing the same thing because people see that, okay, this is getting this man money. Let me do this. Money-driven things and outside money-driven things is never gonna work long term. And if it do work long term, it's ultimately gonna end you in an unhappy state. In my personal opinion, I could be wrong. You know, in the internet, and this is why it's becoming harder and harder to do things that feel true to you, because the internet has promoted this ego-driven thing of, it's promoted the love of money, you know, which is controlled by other people. So when you love something that is controlled by somebody else, you can only go to said somebody else to truly get something that you love, which is taking it outside of yourself. Don't want to ever do that. That's a great pathway to sorrow and sadness. A lot of people don't understand that when you get money, if you sad, that don't feel good. I can have all these things, but if I don't feel good while having them, it don't matter. Like, a lot of people believe that they'd rather be happy in a mansion. I mean, sad in a mansion and shit. But people have never really been sad in a mansion before, so they don't understand the feeling of what that probably feel like. Some people just saying that just because they know what it feel like to be broke. They know what it feel like to be broke and not have no money. And because they put so much basis into what money is and how much, and they love that money so much, that the fact that they don't have it and that they're not able to do those things is what's driven so much sadness, because they just got so much of a love for money and they feel like they got to chase it, that when whatever chance they get, they'll do these things for money. And that's why, you know, so many things happen, because people have a love of money. I don't love money. Now, don't get me wrong. I want to get to the bag, because you got to get that just to provide for your family in the society that we live in today. And I'm a true understander of that. But I'm really understanding that, you know, social media is promoting that mindset, and it's dangerous. And no matter what, people think, if you don't sit around and take care of the things that really matter, once you get money, it's never gonna feel good. So don't allow social media to kind of distract you from that. Don't allow social media to distract you, to take away your creativity, because the more you allow outside influences, the more things you're gonna do just because you want to have some money, or just because you want people to look at you, because attention is killing people. The love of attention is killing people. And that's another thing. Being on social media has made people addicted to attention, which is affecting the true reality. You know what I'm saying? Because I want attention so bad that when people that do anything for attention, that's clout demons, as you would say, when they get in real life, all they doing is things that say, look at me, I feel, and that's, people don't understand a real true self-worth, because they only believe that they are worth something if people are looking their way. So they do whatever they can to get some eyes. They say whatever they have to say. They would do whatever. They will embarrass themselves, which is ultimately just, devastating to who you are as a person. And you may not even be this type of person, but because you are so addicted to attention, you want people to look at you, it's really just causing you to do things out of your character that's not you. And I fell victim to this as well. Now, I ain't do no crazy shit like some of y'all be doing, you nasty motherfuckers. But still, nevertheless, you know what I'm saying, I've still had that time of just being like, oh, if I do this means people gonna look at me. Even with the YouTube shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, my nigga, I done had plenty of moments where I'm like, if I do this, people gonna love to watch me. You know what I'm saying? So don't allow that to be the thing. You feel me? Don't allow social media to take that hold on you. Don't allow it to affect your reality, and get back connected with the true reality and the primal consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Peace, love to y'all. Eat y'all fruits, eat y'all vegetables, man. Go get y'all some pussy, but don't put it over everything, because we didn't, you know what I'm saying? I'm just talking. Free game people, I love y'all. I'm out of here.